Okay, close this. Hello, good people. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? How are you all doing today? How are you all doing? Everything is just showing. What is all of this? Hi, folks. It is Tuesday. It is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in, everyone. This live is sponsored by Rooted in Essential Oils. Rooted in Essential Oils. Yes, go check him out, folks. Go check him out. Might be helpful if I drop the link. Might be helpful if I drop the link. Yes, the link is in the chat, folks. The link is in the chat. Once again, this live is sponsored by Rooted in Essential Oils. Go and check him out, folks, over there. Plant-based living, natural living, home, health, all of those good types of products. He is selling them over there. And more importantly, he has given us training and education information on the products themselves, how to best utilize these natural plant-based products that are good for the environment, good for our health, good for our family, etc. Rooted in essential oils. The link is in the chat. Go and check him out, folks. Go and check him out. Hello, the Bud Files. How are you? How are you? Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for being here. So let's get started. Let's get started, folks. What is the title of this thing? Teens, teens. Yes, they are our favorite people sometimes. And if you are a parent, then eventually your children will get to that age, and it's a difficult time, or can be, of course. It's child dependent, depending on your child, etc. And of course, this is Chronicles. I got a story or two with regards to my own grands, my daughter too, and that's a whole other thing. But yes, our teenagers, of course, at some point, they are going to want to drive. And I guess that isn't every teenager, and it may be depending, like I always mention, and this may or may not be the case, but in my brain, if you live in a big metropolitan area with a lot of public transportation and you as the parents don't drive at all, period. And then when your children come along and you're still not driving while they are growing up, then maybe the kid will just not drive either and just utilize the public transportation. That is a possibility. Or they may do something different where they want to drive and eventually get a vehicle, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just dependent. So now when they do start driving, or wanting to drive, what happens in your family? What happens in your life now when your teenager says, "Hey, I want to drive." And you look up all the information, and of course they can get their learner's permit at a particular time. And maybe if you do have vehicles and you drive, and of course you have the teenagers also into, then at some point you're probably going to get tired of ferrying them around to all these places, the extracurricular activities, whether they are the sporting events, just taking them to people's houses for sleepover. I hope not, but that's a whole other subject. That's a whole other subject. Going to the different summer camps, going to different educational type things, the whole gamut, You're probably going to get tired of that and like, oh my God, I can't wait till he or she starts driving. And of course, we all know what comes with that, the good, the bad, and the ugly of that. But in our parent brain, I think most of us are just like, whew, I need a break. And oh, if I can take this one thing off of my plate, having to carry him or her around, oh, 3 or 4 days a week on the weekend, etc., to all these places, who that is going to, ease up my life in some particular way. And we do know that driving, of course, even when we're driving ourselves, that we really have to be focused, pay attention, and be able to use our judgment at all times. Now, we have to look at our teenager. Is any teenager capable of doing those things at all times while driving? Most of the time, we aren't. And in our brains, I know in mine sometimes, we may put it to, well, I'm out here, I'm working and having to deal with, the boss, the traffic, the this, the that, the other, the bills. and any and everything else that is going on that just may be outside of that, that just may be personal to you. You may have some things going on personally, mentally, emotionally, that's being added to your stress level. And sometimes we aren't focused and all of this. And we may put that as the reason to why we aren't focused and paying attention and using our judgment well when we are driving, or being unsafe when we are driving as adults. But now we're going to talk about the teenagers. Just think about that. Just think about these teenagers. I'm talking about the ones that are just getting their learner's permit. And this particular place on the internet that you can go to, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.gov, is a good resource. I was on there today trying to get some information for this live to talk about teenagers and teen driving tips and things that parents can do, etc., or should be doing way long before, and trust test case dummy. I did not. But once you know better, you do better. But I am way past the teenage years with my elderly daughter. But nonetheless, hopefully this information will be of help to someone out there, to you all here. But yeah, of course, they have the learner's permit requirements, all the requirements up till your teen can drive full on without any type of restrictions on this particular website, and probably any other website also too. But going to a .gov website might be the best case scenario. But please just make sure you check the dates on some of the data that they have on there, especially when they start talking about statistics and what have you. And of course, things do, fall behind. You may have 2021 data or 2022 data, or even before on there. So just be mindful of that. Just be mindful of that. What else do I have on here? Of course, your children, if you are driving, etc., they are watching everything that you are doing when you are driving. Trust and believe, and it starts at an early age. Trust and believe they are watching everything that you are doing in the car. If you are on your phone, if you are texting, if you are talking on your phone, actually holding up, or even if you are pressing the button so you can do your wireless thing, etc., they are watching all of that and taking it in, and like, oh, this is how we drive, and these are some of the things that we can do when we are driving. And no, it is not. So, of course, parents are our children's first teachers. So the good and the bad and the ugly that they are seeing that we are doing, they may imitate, etc. However, if we find ourselves doing that and it clicks with us that, hey, my 12-year-old is watching everything that I'm doing, and in 3 or 4 years, they are going to want to be driving, etc., I need to change up some of the things that I am doing. And if your child, if they're 12, in this example, I'm using a 12-year-old, if they are 12 and have the maturity level, and you would know that because you're the parent, if you went and said to them, hey, I know that when I've been driving, I've been talking on the phone, using the Bluetooth, touching a whole bunch of buttons too many times, and a whole host of things that you may have been doing. If you go and explain that to your kid, that is not proper driving. I should be more focused. I should be doing this, this, and this when I am driving, eyes on the road, hand on the wheel, steering wheel, etc., being focused and safe driving. And I was not doing that. And I'm here to tell you that that is not the way to go. Then that will go a long way with your kid. And then you just start to emulate and do safe driving practices, skills, etc., so that your child will know by the time they're 12, by the time they get 15 and 9 months, whatever your state requirements are to get a learner's, then they will know. Uh, safe driving, all of that good stuff. What else do I have on here? Of course, there is a cost when your child, maybe for some places, not every place is the same. There is a cost when your child wants to start learning. I think most states, I know the state of Maryland requires that they take a driving course, from a business, etc. And also into that the parents give, parents or maybe someone else give them some supervised training on their own also into it. I think the thing said 60 hours for regular. I have it right here. and 10 hours of night training, for lack of a better word, driver training with your student, to say with your child in this particular case. So yeah, we have to make sure that we are, doing safe driving, because if part of the deal to get the learners to go on and get the license is the parent doing some of the training, then hopefully the parent knows safe, good driving practices, skills, etc., to pour that into their child. Just don't depend, if your state isn't one, then and all that they have is the driver course or what have you, and they're going to get the good information, hopefully the good information, and of course on the road training, of course, and how to be as safe as possible, all the safe things to do when driving on the road, from the driving course, from the business driving course, and that is a great thing. Now I do know when someone was coming along, I'm not going to say because I don't have time to be under a jail, but nonetheless, you know, sometimes you went out without the proper paperwork. I'll just say that, and you learn how to drive that way. Also, into out in the country, that tends to happen a lot. That tends to happen a lot, and sometimes you know how to drive well before, you can, well before the 15 years and 9 months for a lot of folks, But yeah, you want to make sure that if you are part of the driving, um, the whole driving system where you have to give training to your kid, etc., then make sure that you are doing safe driving things when you are in the car with your child, showing him or her how to drive. Make sure that you are doing that. Very key, because of course you and your family aren't the only ones that are on the road. Everyone else is on the road, and yes, safety first and always. Let's see what else I got on here. And of course, like I mentioned before, this is their first real shot at independence. So as a parent, what have you been doing? What have you been showing them, so that when they are actually in the car, that they are being independent in a good way, focused, not going to be out here doing all the things that they may have seen or heard about, because your kid is 15, so they lived quite a while. They lived quite a while, and they have seen a lot of things, definitely here on these YouTube streets, on the internet itself. And if they have these gaming systems, and some of them have the driving type stuff, etc., and they're not driving slow on those type of things, if that is something that they have been exposed to, etc., you may want to have part of your sit down chat with them, maybe in regards to what they may have been playing on these video games, the fast race car driving, etc. And even if they aren't participating in it, if they are seeing in the game itself where the fast driving is happening, let them know that, hey, this isn't what you do when you are out here on these real streets, highways, interstate, etc. That is not what you do. So we have to make sure that we are giving them information and pouring into them with regards to the independent part, how to really and truly be independent. They're 15, they only have 3 more years left. So if, in my brain, if they haven't gotten the majority part of what it will mean to be fully independent by now, then yeah, there's always work that we can do with our children. There's always work to do with our children. Yeah. Also, another thing that they are seeing out here, because I'm sure they have friends that are older than them that may have their learner's permit or their license, and if they have been sitting in the car with them when they should not have been, or when they have been, and they are seeing them drive a particular type of way, that is another thing that you may need to discuss with them, whether you've seen them drive, the other person drive erratic or not. Just say, hey, I know that you've been in the car with Bob, and I don't know how Bob drives, but if Bob is driving, crazy, erratic, unsafe, etc., you do not want to be doing these things. You do not want to be doing these things. That's unacceptable, can happen. Not going to give you the keys, etc. And that's a whole nother topic with regards to giving the kids the keys, actually giving them the keys to the car when they can go out on their own without you or any other 18-year-old having to be in there. That is going to be Very interesting, very interesting, very interesting. And of course, you want to make sure that after they get the learners, that you are riding with them very often, as much as you possibly can. So if they didn't hear something you said, or they didn't get something you said, or you didn't give them uh, enough or the information at all period that they needed, then you can do that while you are sitting in the car with them, or before you get in the car with them, etc. And little by little, the things that you did not say prior, you can start to say now, because this is where literally the rubber meets the road. Yes. And of course, you're going to tell them all the things about being on the phone. Of course, if this is your kid and they are under, if they are driving your car, I don't care what age if they are driving your car and you are responsible for that car, the insurance, the payments, all this other stuff, what have you, you are going to be the one to tell them what the rules are and make sure that they follow the rules. And if they go off track, that is it. That is it. Do not give them any chances to screw it up further, because other lives hang in the balance. Of course, you're going to be telling them about those phones. You're going to have to come up with something with regards to the phones. The phones have to be off. I don't know. Maybe there's a program or something out here that can do that, so that you can actually monitor the phone, and of course monitoring where they are going also into. I am sure there's an app for that and all of those things. I am sure there is, but you have to cover yourself. You have to cover yourself. It's a car. It's being, you're paying the insurance, and if something jumps off, they are looking at you. They are looking at you. So tell them about the phones, drugs, whether legal or illegal. That's a no go. If, and of course, you will know if your child is on medication, and if the medication causes some type of drowsiness, etc., then you don't want the kid in there driving at all, period. And in my brain, morning, noon, or night, I mean, I would be the one driving, because I'm just not going to chance it because everybody's body is different. But you're going to tell them all about this. And for legal, with regards to, the weed stuff, etc., yeah, you have to be careful. I don't know, and I don't need to know really, because I'm not taking in that what these states' requirements are with regards to that, whether all of them have legalized this thing or not, and if you're crossing into different states, like here in Maryland, Virginia's right there, the District of Columbia, of course, which is not a state, is right there also in two, and then a lot of states are close by, Delaware, etc., are close by, just like in the Northeast, you got New York and Vermont and Connecticut and all. If you're crossing into a state that where particular substances aren't legal yet, or never have been, and they probably won't, then your child needs to know this information. Your child needs to know this information. Yes, they have a phone in their hand, they have a computer in their hand, but they're not going to go and check that information out. They're going to go and check out everything else that's going on, TikTok, etc. But if you're giving them the keys, you're on the insurance. Something jumps off, it is on you. Of course, a great teaching element or thing here is YouTube and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Great information on there with regards to teen driving, just a whole host of things, on there. They have vehicle rating stuff on there, recalls, all the different type of recalls for the vehicles. Make sure that you have your VIN, so that you can check to see what recalls are happening. Risky driving, seat belts, child safety seats, all of the. They have a lot of good information on there. A great resource for parents to go and check out the information and get some thoughts, ideas as to things to talk about that they may have not thought about, etc. Hello, Kirby Key. How are you? How are you? Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I was over there at your place today. It was good seeing you again. It was good seeing you again there, Kirby Key. Thanks so much for being here and supporting as always. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But yeah, just a lot of stuff. Just being a parent is it is something else. It is a whole lot. Glad that you are doing better. Glad that you are doing better. Woo! I bet that was a scare. I bet that was a scare. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Doing okay. Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Overall, your kid is 15. from 0 to 15. A lot of things should have been poured into your kid with regards to just life, basic life skills. But definitely this one, when they are feeling like they're going to be independent. Oh, I don't have to ride around with mom or dad. They're old, they're not hip. I can't listen to this type of music that they're playing, etc. Whatever it is that the young folks are saying nowadays, whatever it is that your teenagers are saying nowadays, we gotta pour a whole lot of good stuff in them to when they do have and get this little first taste of independence or freedom or etc., then they know what to do. They will be responsible. And I get it. Kids will make mistakes. Things will happen. They may cause something to happen, just straight up total accident, or someone else may do something. I get it. I'm not that rigid, folks. I'm not that rigid. But if you got the kid that is a well balanced kid, the kid listens, he listens to authority, et cetera, then you're going to be good. Thank you so much, Kirby Key, once again for supporting. As always, I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. The link is in the chat, folks. What are you waiting for? Go over there and check out Kirby Key. Go over there and check out Kirby Key. She is back, folks. She is back. She is back. Go check out her channel. Like I said, I was over there today and I'm not going to give too much of it away. You all can go over there and check out her latest video over there, a skincare regimen, skincare routine. And as always, the description box, folks, the description box is key. Save some coins. Key. Key, Kirby Key. The description box is key where you can save some coins. Go over there and check out Kirby Key, a skin care regimen. I'll just leave it at that and go check out her video. Her latest video and all the other content that she has over there on her channel, her shorts and her videos also too. And as always, when we have the teens and we're driving them, we have to, and I said this already before, we have to make sure that we are practicing great, good driving skills, practices, etc., so that they can pick that up more sooner than later and go on about their day. But yeah, we have to be careful. We have to be careful with that. And of course, as you all know, I have 2 grandchildren, and things do go bump in the night with them. But yeah, with regards to when my grandchildren were younger, they would rat out my daughter and tell me that she was running yellow lights and red lights. Yes. So your kids will rat you out when they are much younger, like 6, 7, etc. And then when you get old, once again, proving that they are watching everything that you are doing, even at a young age like that. And I would get after my daughter when she was doing that because she has my grandchildren in there. We're not going to worry about it, that they're her children, that they're my grandchildren. So I would get after her about that. But yeah, they will rat you out because they are looking at everything that you are doing. And when they get 15, it's not going to be coming to Nana, ratting you out. They're going to be up in your face saying, well, you do it, mom, or you do it, dad. And I'm going to leave that at that because that wouldn't be happening over here. I might have to post bail if that happens. I'll just leave it out. See, I need to stop. But someone will have to post bail for me. I'll just say that. Instead of happening over here. But yeah, they get up in your face because they got they got the law on their side. They can call 911 on the phone that you are paying for. How about that? Yeah, that won't happen. Like they say, when you get to the court and you look at that judge, like, you take them. You take them and raise them. Oh my goodness. I get off on a tangent sometimes. Oh my God. Oh no, we're not having that. I think a little bit of that is needed, but that would be something different. That would be something different. No running the yellow lights, exactly. But they rat her out. And of course, as you all know, I took my granddaughter to the MVA here to try to get her learners or what have you. And my and we weren't able to do it in my car that day, etc. But before the actual test happened, I was trying to back into a parking spot before we go inside, all this other good stuff, and I did one of these things. I put my hand on the back of the passenger seat, and I looked back to back in, and she was like, "You failed the test, man." She was like, "You failed the driving test, man." I was like, "What?" And then my brain automatically went to today's technology. Oh, well, I don't have one of those things, when you can see the backup and all this other stuff, whatever, the camera, the backup camera, or any type of camera in there. So I was like, so I guess you're not supposed to do that. That's the older days. And just to be clear, I saw that on a YouTube video, and that's where I picked it up from because I'm only 29, and that has been happening. Like, yes, you failed the driver's test, man. I was like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. But yeah, the 18-year-old, she is driving now and doing one of my walk-in talks out there at the park. The driving school or business that she was actually out there that day. I was like, who is this person? They can drive. Trust, I have never gotten in the car with them while they were driving. And I never tried to show them how to drive. Now, I did offer my granddaughter, to give her lessons on how to drive and, let her do the driving type of thing to go down to Virginia and be out in the country and just drive, well before the age, like I was saying. But nonetheless, yeah, they will rat you out. They will rat you out, folks. But yeah, this teen driving, and on that site, of course, I think it was like 2,608 folks between, I think, the ages of 18 and 21 that were involved in some type of crash and died also in two. So great information on how you can talk to your kids, your teenagers about these different things with regards to driving, and a whole host of information. Like I said, vehicle ratings. Now, excuse me, sorry. Now, with some of that, if you have a car that you had for forever and a day and you plug it in there and it says your car is not all that safe, you know what it is. Hey, my car is safe, or I am a safe driver. So if I'm a safe driver, my car is going to be in a safe position at all times. I'm doing things safely. So I don't get crazy with some of that. I didn't plug in my information, but just so people know, if I don't think they're trying to get you to buy a new car. They did have something on there about buying a car, and they have advertisers too. The government has advertisers too. But nonetheless, the recalls are key. Of course, when you buy a brand new car, and maybe even when you buy a used car and you fill out all this type of paperwork, etc., you want to get notifications from the car manufacturer, whoever it is, Honda, Kia, Ford, Chrysler, Chevrolet, etc. You want to get all the information, all emails, all notifications about what is happening with, your car, all the safety recalls, etc. So yeah, that is a good thing to have, and definitely make sure that if they do have some type of safety recall, that you go to the local dealership there that has a service department and get it checked out. Make an appointment, get it checked out, because we need the cars to be safe and the drivers to be safe. The cars need to be safe as well, because the cars are out there on the road along with the people. Hello, Shaggy girl. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Yeah, and some of the more basic things that you and we all know, sometimes with these young teenagers and sometimes with the young men, because they are men, they have, especially they have lots of energy that they are trying to get out, and it seems as though they have something to prove either to themselves or to others, maybe a bit of peer pressure in there. But they have lots of energy. And we all know this from when they are 2, 3, and 4. They just like all over the place, bundles of energy, balls of energy. So along with that, and now you're going to get them out there driving. They want to test the limits. They want to see how far they can go. And sometimes they want to break the rules. And the seat belts is one of them. They need to make sure that they are buckling up each and every time. And trust, when we're going through a process, when they're in the car, or we're in the car learning to drive and all this other good stuff, people are probably saying, buckle up, buckle up, buckle up, and it gets in their brain at that time. But then when they are away from it, and if they are in the car by themselves, you're letting them go in the car by themselves, etc. No one is telling them to buckle up. So that may escape their brain, but they need to know that they need to buckle up at all times. So when you're with them, always remind them to buckle up. If you don't see them do it automatically, like most of us older folks do, they need to buckle up automatically, automatically. Thank you so much for the 11 likes. Thanks so much for the 11 likes. Don't forget to hit the like button, folks. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you, Shangy Girl, for sharing it to your community wall. Go and check out Shangy Girl. Her link is in the chat. She's over there with her dogs. Go and check that out. Adventure. She's doing sightseeing in her city. All of that good stuff. Shangy Girl. And she does karaoke also in two. She does karaoke also in two. And she do her little shorts, making iced coffee, etc. Go and check out Shangy Girl, one of our international friends. Her link is in the chat. Her link is in the chat, folks. Yeah. And of course, a big one is speeding. Speeding. Yes, we have to make sure that our teens and ourselves that we are following the speed limit, getting these tickets, and trust and believe that they rack up. They rack up, and the next thing you know, I don't know whether they do points for tickets. I think they do. You have a lot of points, then your license is suspended, revoked, et cetera, et cetera. And you're spending money out of the wazoo to pay the tickets and to get things settled and squared up. And it's just not good, especially if you are a beginner driver, a teen driver, et cetera. So parents, please make sure that you are sharing that information with them also, and to make sure you're sharing that information also, and to, because if they are in a location where public transportation is not readily available and they need to get back and forth to work, and that you've gone through the driving process and you're giving them the keys to drive the car during the time that they are working, you're not in the car with them, and a whole lot of this stuff is happening. They're getting speeding tickets, they're getting reckless driving tickets, etc., and you may not know about it. Well, I think you would know about it. I don't The thing will come to your house, and it may have your kid's name on it, or it may have your name on it, because they are minor, or it may have both names on it. Then you're going to be looking at it and saying that, hey, they are messing up big time. And that's when you need to take the car keys away from them and give them some tough love, like, hey, you're going to tough it out, find your own way to work, and you're going to get these tickets paid off. And then we're going to talk about when I'm going to let you go back to doing it. And these are the conditions. We have to be firm with our kids, because if we're paying the insurance, the car notes, all this other stuff, that stuff is going to fall back on us in one way or another. And our children are the best thing since sliced bread. But our children aren't the only ones on the road. And we need to let our children know that, hey, you matter. You matter to me and your dad and our family and all this other stuff more than anything. But to the world, you don't matter. And when you go out there, you're going to have to follow their rules. That's just what it is. Got to have some tough talk with the kids sometimes. But that driving is something, when they are first starting out, they want that independence. They want that freedom from you, from the parents. Oh my God, I can get away from her. I am tired of listening to this old music in the car. We don't even have a camera in here. We don't have a navigation system in here, but they know that they're going to be the ones driving the car next, because you're going to move on to bigger, better things. And then they'll love it then. They'll love it then. They'll love not having those things. And when they are behind the wheel, a whole nother subject, close, a whole nother subject. Thank you, Mr. Steve Gilmore, for being here. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you all so much for coming in. Please click on all the links in the chat. Click on all the links in the chat. As you all know, this live is sponsored by Rooted in Essential Oils. Rooted in Essential Oils. Go and check him out, folks. Go and check him out. His link is in the chat. Plant-based, natural living with good products for the home, your family, the environment. Rooted in Essential Oils. Go and check him out. Go and check him out. Link is in the chat. Curvy Key, go and check her out. She is back, folks. She is back, and hopefully with a vengeance. She did a her latest video, like I mentioned before, is a skincare regimen routine. Go and check that out. Go and check that out. Curvy Key. The link is in the chat. And I'm sure there will be many more wig reviews, etc. She does that. Some of her other content that she did previously was luxury items, folks, shoes, pocketbooks, fragrances. She's done some cosmetics, and like I mentioned, beads, otter beads. Once again, the description box is key where you can save some coins. You can save some money with a discount code. Kirby Key, go and check her out. Now back to Rooted in Essential Oils. Also in two, check out the description box there because he does sell those products that he gives us training and education on how to use well, best for your family. Check him out. Check that description box out also into because there is codes in there where you can save some coins, And Shangy Girl, thank you so much. Also into for sharing me and this live to your community wall. I do appreciate it. Go and check out our international friend, Shangy Girl. Her link is in the chat. She's over there with food. Uh, like I said, sightseeing around in her city, adventures, her dogs, etc. Go and check out Shangy Girl. The link, all the links are in the chat. Click on all the links in the chat. Great content creators over there, folks, and great content. And you can save some coin also into. But yeah, so this was the teen driving portion of my Car Chronicles car chat. And of course, as we as parents know that our children are watching us and what it is that we are doing. And besides just watching how we are driving, we know that they're watching some of the more other things in our lives. They're watching how how we interact with, our spouse. And they're seeing how we talk to our spouse, how we speak to our spouse, and a whole host of other things. How we manage day to day, how we handle stress, they are seeing and watching a whole host of things that we are doing. And we have to be pouring into our kids. Yeah, our work is never done as mothers, as women. We are, can we just sit down and breathe without having to explain something to someone the way I'm saying it? No, sadly. But no, you can't have a break. You cannot have a break if you are a woman and a mother. You cannot. I'm just kidding. Well, no, I'm not. But nonetheless, a lot of work. And we have to be pouring into our kids a whole host of things from 0 to 18 and beyond because some don't leave as readily as we would like. Mine did. Whew. I need to stop. But nonetheless, yeah, they are watching us at all times. They're watching us at all times. And of course, they're watching us drive, picking up what it is that we are doing, and they're going to carry that forward once they start driving, unless we put the brakes on, yes, pun intended, and tell them and say, hey, this is where I made mistakes, and you saw the mistakes I made. That's not the way. This is the way. And then start showing them the correct way because lives matter. Your life, their life, and everyone else that is out here on these streets, their lives matter also into. Excuse me. More cough drops. More cough drops coming. My hand sanitizer. So I'm over here messing around with. But yes, I am going to end this live, folks. I am going to end this live. This live was sponsored by Rooted in Essential Oils. Rooted in Essential Oils. His link is in the chat. Go check him out, folks. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it. Bye-bye.